Good morning, and thank you for tuning in. I'm excited to welcome you to the first episode of my new podcast. This space is all about documenting my journey of self-improvement, exploring the challenges we all face along the way. I'll be sitting down with others who are navigating similar struggles, and we'll dive into some of the hard truths behind our personal growth. Each series will focus on a specific topic, and I'll be releasing 5 to 6 episodes per series, each around 15 minutes. At the end of each series, I'll reflect on what I've learned, sharing insights that I hope will help you on your path. I want to emphasize that this is my journey, one that's uniquely mine. We all have our own paths and challenges, so take what resonates and leave what doesn't. My content speaks to you. Please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Let's keep the conversation constructive. After all, the goal here is to learn and grow together. Haters and trolls will be left in the dust. For this first series, I'll be talking about my struggles with social anxiety. In this episode, I'm taking a relaxing ride up Lookout Mountain with my good friend, Malf. Before we started, I asked him to reflect on what triggers his social anxiety and how he's learned to cope. So with that, I'm Christopher Howell, and this is my Resolute Path.
Against the stigma against men can't talk to other people about their feelings. What I mean by this is if you do talk about it or seek help, you're weak or you get called names. That's what I struggle with most. I was in an accident recently, for example, and it's really brought me down mentally, and I feel like I can't really talk to a lot of men in my life about it. Or I'll be some kind of weak person to them. So in order for me to cope with that, I actually go see a therapist every 2 weeks and talk to them. And it's a man, which is kind of cool.
Nice. So you found help in getting through that through therapy and actually having a professional therapist to sit down and talk.
If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be able to wake up or even go riding anymore after my accident. So
now, this podcast does focus around the biker community a bit. Did you have that struggle even in the biker community, being a member of a motorcycle club, finding someone that could support you and talk with? You couldn't even find a brother in the brotherhood?
So I wasn't always with who I am now, with who I'm with now, 667. When I first started this biker community, I was with a different group of men. I couldn't even find a brother in that group of men to talk to, and we're supposed to be brothers. And then it wasn't until I found 667 where a lot of these guys struggle just like I do, where I was able to talk, ride my bike, talk, and actually do what I needed to do to live and cope with society.
So even in a group environment, a social organization, it's important to make those individual connections. No matter what group you're in, you got to find the people that are struggling along with you and make those individual connections. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, it's like a basketball team. On your team, you're not gonna like all your teammates, but you're gonna play with them, right?
Yeah.
You find the individual you like most, you might play with them better when they're on the court with you.
For sure. I agree a lot with what Malf has had to say here today. It has become a stigma in society in general, not just male society, but society in general, that you have to choke it down and you have to deal with your issues. And in some part, you really do. And your issues and your emotions are yours to deal with. But we all need someone to lean on, a friend, a companion, a partner, whether it be a husband, a wife, or a therapist, just someone to actually talk through your issues. It's not good to hold everything in. This is also something I've personally struggled with, and I'm also going through therapy to deal with, specifically my social anxiety, but also, this is part of it, not feeling like my opinions are welcomed in public, not feeling like I can talk about anything. And, this is what we're here. We're here to talk about this stuff. Yep. and help people figure out their ways through it. We're not professionals in any way, shape, or form. This is just our experience and our learned life lessons, and we wanted to share those so that maybe we can, unburden ourselves and get that off our chest, but also you guys can learn and we can learn and grow together. Subject we were talking about earlier up on top of the mountain, now that we're down here getting some good Chinese grub, is it seems to be in today's society, at least our perspective, is that it's not cool or not acceptable, socially acceptable for men to talk their minds or express their feelings. As soon as you show any kind of weakness, it's just not socially acceptable. If you are emotional, you're considered weak. If you can't take care of it yourself, you're considered needy. And people use it against you later on. Heaven forbid, if you do open up and talk to someone,
Take advantage of your vulnerability.
they take advantage of your vulnerability. And one thing I want to expand on that is you've got to always make sure, even if it is uncomfortable, you've got to stand behind your truth. And you really got to make sure that your voice is heard, even if it is uncomfortable, even if people don't agree with you. Everyone has their truth, and it's important that we all speak our minds and get our thoughts out. And especially, find someone that's accepting of your emotional state, and really, find that right person that you can get your heart and soul out to, and that's not going to use it against you or do all the negative other stuff that you see every day. But anyways, Resolute Path. You got to keep on going. You got to be resolute to keep on moving forward and to keep on growing and developing yourself as a person.
We get stuck in routine. That's what's so hard to get us out of our comfort zone. And routine could be the way you act against things, the way you get up in the morning and do your routine.
Mm-hmm.
We get so stuck on it that it's hard to step out of our comfort zone.
For sure. Would you say that it's that stigma's gotten better or worse over the last couple of years, specifically since COVID?
Better. Just because the whole, this kind of plays into it, but everyone's speaking about their sexuality or everyone getting offended so easily. I think it's gotten easier, to be honest.
So it's gotten better.
Society is so soft now. It's a good thing, as in people are starting to listen to people, whatever their issue may be. But it's also a bad thing because everyone gets offended nowadays.
I can see that. It's like two sides of the same coin. It's good that people are getting more sensitive because people are becoming more acceptable, and empathy seems to be getting better.
Yep.
But at the exact same time, it's also a bad thing because it's just oversensitivity, and you can't, again, if you're afraid to open up and say anything because you're going to offend somebody.
Or your issue might not be as bad as the person next to you, so it's like, why are you complaining?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that happens a lot. Because I live a good life, but I got put into my head that complaining about it just makes everybody else, my problems everybody else's. So I try not to talk about it because that person might have some problems too. But I don't think anybody's problems are more significant than the others.
Yeah, everyone's got their own struggles, and no one struggles any harder than anyone else's, but everyone's struggle is different and unique.
And mental health is such a broad topic to speak about because some people still don't understand it scientifically.
Yeah, we don't know how our
brains you have anxiety? Well, anxiety can go a long way, dude. It's such a powerful feeling. You can't just, and it's gone, snap of a finger. Yep. You really got to work hard or deal with it your whole life and try to cope with it in other ways. That's why I ride. Going through my accident and stuff, that's why I still ride, and losing everybody I did. Just because if I didn't ride, I wouldn't have a way to really cope with life. I go riding, I'm like, damn, I'm lucky to be on two wheels right now. I don't care how my life is at home or whatever it may be. When I get on two wheels, I'm like free, dude, and more relaxed.
Helps calm your mind. I
feel comfortable in my own skin, sitting at home or just sitting around, not doing anything or not talking to anybody, just shutting myself down. Can't do it. It's unhealthy. I didn't realize how unhealthy it was until getting sober and then my eyes opening up after my accident. Right after I got sober, I got in an accident, so I had a lot of time to think about and reflect on my life and the way I treat people and the actions I make.
Did it give you time to reflect and grow through your recovery, not just physically but
Mentally? Yeah. I think I'm the strongest and healthiest I've ever been because I had time to reflect.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe sometimes everything does happen for a reason, bro. In a way, I'm kind of glad I went through my accident. Unfortunately, it had to be that way, but it opened my eyes about a lot of things.
Almost like you had to be broken down before you could build back up.
Literally, like almost death broken down. And then, I don't know, I just took life for granted. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't take death so serious. And like who it would affect around.
To give everyone some insight, you really are looking at two bionic men here. We have both survived some hideous accidents, come out the other side,
Mm-hmm.
not the same, different parts, aftermarket this, bolts and screws and plates and everything else. I'm missing organs. He's all bolted together. But, you got to be, again, resolute. You got to keep on moving forward, right? It's not about not making mistakes. We're all going to make mistakes. We're all going to fall. It's about getting back up, dusting yourself off, and every day waking up and knowing you're going to be better than you were the day before. Whether you are recovering from an accident and you just you walk the stairs one extra time, or you get out of bed just one extra set of walking around. Whatever you do, whatever your story, whatever that you're coping and recovering from, just know that you can be better than you were the day before.
Mm-hmm.
Don't compare yourself to anyone else.
Yeah.
I'm no Brad Pitt, or I'm definitely no Elon Musk. But and I drive myself insane comparing myself to people like that.
Yep.
But every day I can look at myself and I can know that I'm better than I was the day before. Whether it be because I really pushed at the gym, whether it be because I learned something new, whether it was I had a friend enlighten me and offer me new perspective of life and their struggles. And that's all what this podcast is about being better. And I'm trying to be better, and I'm trying to share that experience and with everyone around me. Everyone has their own paths, and everyone's going to have their own way of doing this. But this is mine, and I hope that we can all share that together and, learn and grow as a team.
Exactly.
Yeah. Glad you made it to the end. I want to take a moment to thank you for joining me for my very first episode. Big shout out to Mouth for putting it all out there. At the end of this series, I'm going to review all the episodes and share what I learned along the way. I really am glad this is about improvement, because let's get real, I've got a lot of room to improve. Please, if you have any recommendations, share them in the comments, like and subscribe, and hit that little bell thing so you know when my next episode hits. And as always, keep it shiny.